behave yourself. How long have you known Miss Bello? You don't seem too happy to speak with me. Is it because of your brother's relationship with my daughter, or do you actually think that I did what I was accused of? At this moment, we'll need to wait for a jury to decide that for themselves. We're almost ready. Guess it's showtime. How are you liking the new place, Wanda? It's nice, but it doesn't feel like home. No, not at all. Maybe I can figure out a way for you to make it feel like home a bit. How? You should put that new TV of yours to good use and watch the interview of Devontae Torres. I don't know about that, Owen. I feel like I would only be wasting my time listening to his lies. Just think of it as him making a fool of himself on national television then. Are you serious? What did I do now? Are you really gonna watch some interview that will paint our father as some monster? Our father agreed to take part in this interview, Nichelle. I'm watching it to support him. Maybe you should do the same. I don't need to watch our father be attacked on national television to support him, Pacho. Are you sure that's why you're watching the interview, or is it because you can't bring yourself to truly believe that he's innocent? Why are you so bent on thinking the worst of me? Mom, is something wrong, Yulissa? I wouldn't say that something's wrong, but I was wondering if you were gonna watch that interview. To be honest, I will. I don't expect much, but I can't help myself. Can I watch it with you? I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Mom, it's not that I want to, but I feel like I need to watch it, even if Dad doesn't tell the truth. Where's Mom? Is she not gonna watch it with us? Your mother won't be able to watch it at all. She couldn't stomach the thought of listening to Devontae Torres' lies. Why exactly are we watching this interview, since we all know that Devontae is guilty? Because, Maximilian, the press will expect our family to respond to his lies. Most of all, catching him on his lies is must-see TV. We're all gonna have to quiet down. It looks like it's about to start. Why are you so eager to watch, Gianni? Are you gonna pay attention to the questions or doze off looking into your lover's eyes? Maybe I should punch you in your eyes, Essador. Better yet, maybe I should punch you hard enough in the mouth so that I could give myself a break from hearing your annoying voice. Shut up, you two. Do you realize how childish you both sound? Good evening, everyone. My name is Quinlan Franklin. Today, I'm speaking with Devontae Torres. Mr. Torres has been spoken about since the year began after he was arrested for taking Elvira Russo's life. His arrest has created much controversy and even more speculation. Mr. Torres has agreed to share his side of the story and to answer what so much of America has been wondering. Thank you for agreeing to be here, Mr. Torres. Thank you for having me, Miss Franklin. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. I understand that you are adamant that you didn't take Elvira Russo's life. That's correct. But after 20 years, you weren't randomly selected to be the one who would be arrested for this crime. The Valley Park Police Department must have had good reason to charge you for what happened to Elvira. I wouldn't say that it was good reason. In my opinion, the department was frustrated that they couldn't crack the case for this long. But when they discovered some information about Elvira and I, then I became the fall guy. Can you explain what that piece of information was? Every time this comes out of my mouth, I always feel such great shame. Before Elvira lost her life, she and I were involved. Sexually? That is correct. How did this come to be? because it doesn't sound like you and Elvira just started this affair out of nowhere. You two knew each other before the affair began, right? That's right. Our families were very influential in Valley Park. They still are. We've always crossed paths. But when did you and Elvira become close enough to have an affair? For a good while, Elvira had an issue with me because I married her older brother's ex. But clearly those negative feelings went away. Yes. How? When was the moment when Elvira began to feel comfortable around you? Her mother, Clarice Rousseau, had a surprise birthday party at Theodosius' palace. Clarice's husband Lorenzo set the whole thing up. I was able to start a conversation with her, then she began to warm up to me. Is that the night that you slept with her? No, the affair didn't start right away. The two of us began speaking to one another, friendly conversations. We would talk on the phone for hours, meet at Theodosius' palace, meet at popular spots, but only as friends. Yet, you two eventually became more than friends. Correct. So when did you two realize that you were attracted to one another? When she met with me at my family's hotel. She admitted that she was attracted to me and I just couldn't resist her. Are you sure that it wasn't the other way around, Mr. Torres? Excuse me? You were 22 years old, married with a son, and Elvira Russo was 17 years old. On top of that, she was already in a committed relationship with Udell Mitchell. Are you sure that you weren't the one who seduced her? Miss Franklin, Elvira and I were 5 years apart. She wasn't forced to be in a relationship with me. She was 1 year under 18. If she could seduce a man like me, then she could seduce anyone. Just to be clear, a 17-year-old high schooler was able to seduce you, a man in his early 20s. That's what happened. Did the affair end before she lost her life? It did because I said so. I knew that Elvira and I were in a deep situation. My goal was to work on my marriage. Mr. Torres, people watching this interview might feel like Elvira possibly ended the affair with you because she was the one who felt guilty for cheating on Udell Mitchell. What would you say to those people? I would tell those people that I was the one who was there and they would only be speaking on matters that they have no information about. That's true. None of us were there, but Elvira was, and she's no longer alive to share her side of the story, which is a tragedy created by one individual. Mr. Torres, can you honestly say that you still don't understand why the police would believe that you're responsible? If Elvira was the one who ended the relationship, then that gives you motive, especially when, according to police reports, Ben Russo heard his aunt's last words tell someone, and I quote, "I don't want you." Ben was a 5-year-old little boy back then, and my heart breaks for him. After that night, that boy turned into a man who spirals out of control, turning to alcohol and other drugs for comfort. Recently, he attacked me at my hotel. I'm sorry to hear about that, Mr. Torres. Even though I don't think anyone should attack you, we can also take into account that Wanda Mitchell didn't attack you physically. According to police reports, she also saw you walk out of Theodosius' palace the very night that Elvira lost her life. The thing is, Miss Franklin, I don't doubt that Ben heard Elvira scream those words at someone. I never heard those words. Someone else that night did. Do you have a theory as to who took Elvira's life that night? I certainly do. Who? Udell Mitchell. Why do you think Udell Mitchell took Elvira's life? It's always been obvious to me. For years, he never knew that I was the one who Elvira cheated on him with. All this time, I always felt like he was just in a jealous rage, then snapped. Do you miss Elvira? Every day. Did you love her? I did care about her deeply. So it wasn't just an affair that meant nothing. You had deep feelings for her? I did. Was it love, Mr. Torres? Were you in love with Elvira Russo? Not as much as I loved my wife. Do you think that your wife loves you? Of course. From the information that I've gathered, your wife no longer lives with you. In fact, she moved out. Why wouldn't your wife of over 20 years stand by your side? She's in shock, but I wake up every day believing that she'll come back to me and believe that I never took Elvira Russo's life. For those who viewed this interview, I thank you. In the next few months, Devontae Torres will stand trial where a jury will decide whether he's guilty. Please be safe and have a good night. Well played, Quinlan. Well played. You must think that I'm a fool who allows people to disrespect me, don't you? Miss Bello, you are one of the most intelligent women that I know. Most of all, I did not disrespect you. You know that all of those questions were not approved, but I did not hound Mr. Torres like you feared. I did what you asked. Most of all, I did my job, and I did it well. There's no doubt that this interview was a hit. If I somehow am terminated from this company, then millions of people will have questions. Most of all, they will have questions about you, Miss Bello. I look forward to doing more work for this network. Undermining me was a mistake, Miss Franklin. It was a huge mistake.